So today, friends, we're going to do cooking class number 3, and we're going to learn about baking. So let's start with monkey bread. Here's our set of utensils and ingredients. We read through the recipe. We're going to need a can of biscuits, some brown sugar, some regular sugar, some butter, a small bowl, a cutting board to cut the biscuits, a muffin tin. Now I put liners in my muffin tin, and that helps me to get the monkey bread out. We're going to make single servings, not your normal bundt pan. I have a 1/3 of a cup measuring cup and a 1/4 of a cup. And then I have a saucepan. Now this saucepan is a little bit heavier than the one we use to boil the chicken because I'm going to be making some sugar and butter, and I need for it to be heavier. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first thing our recipe says to do is preheat our oven to 375. Okay, probably says, nope, it says 350 on the can. Okay, so in a small bowl, we're going to put a 1/4 of a cup of sugar. Oops, and I forgot the cinnamon. See why it's important to get all your ingredients out before you get started. So you don't have to go searching for the cinnamon. Now it says 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. I don't care for cinnamon as much, so I'm not going to put 1.5 teaspoons, maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon. All right. So we're going to mix that up, and then we're going to set that aside. I'm going to open up our biscuits, and I need to get a knife. Oh, goodness. Okay, and we should have 8 biscuits here. I like grands, the big ones, and the flaky layers, because the flaky layers make flaky layers in your monkey bread. And it says cut each one of them individually. However, so much easier if you just cut them all together. Okay, and it also says cut them in 6 pieces. I'm going to do that today, but normally I only cut them into 4 pieces. All right, so each biscuit has 2, 4, 6 pieces, and they don't have to be the same size. All right, let's see if I can cut this one all the way down. And remember, boys and girls, to wash your hands before we get started. Okay, so we're going to take our cinnamon sugar. First, we're going to take our pan, and even if you line your pan with cupcake liners, you still want to spray them with Pam, because if not, there's a chance that the muffin or monkey bread will stick to the cupcake liner. So spray your pan so they don't stick. All right, then we're going to take each little piece, roll it into a ball-ish, then roll it around in our cinnamon sugar. You can use a fork, or you can use your hand, which works a whole lot better sometimes. Okay? All right, and we're going to put, the recipe says 8 pieces in each muffin cup. Now, because I have grands biscuits, 8 pieces may not fit there. Now, see, here's a little tiny piece. So we count that as a piece. That might be good. Okay, just make sure you get And if you want to add some more sugar or some more cinnamon, or if you want to add some nutmeg or some allspice or whatever flavors you think you'd like. We could even do this. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm only going to put 6 pieces in, and I might have more than 6 cups because they are going to expand. I think I'm only going to put 6 pieces in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of these up, and I will be back. Okay, boys and girls, here's a math problem for you. We started with 8 biscuits. We cut them into 6 pieces each. Then I put 6 pieces in each of 6 muffin cups. So the question is, how many pieces do I have left? Because I have some left, but I'm not going to let you count. How many pieces do I have left, and how many more muffins will that make? All right, let's get started on our sauce. Okay, we're going to heat up the water. We need 2 teaspoons of water, 2/3 cup of brown sugar, and 1/4 cup of butter. So when I do water or a liquid, I like to put it in a bigger container so I can measure it exactly. Because if you try and turn the faucet on and get the, just get a teaspoon of water, it's very hard. So we'll pour the rest of that out. Butter. Each stick of butter is 1/2 cup. So if we need 1/4 cup, first of all, the measurements are on the butter. So that's the easy way to do it. But 1/2 cup times 1/2 equals what? Cooking is a lot of math, huh? All right, so we're going to put the water and the butter in, and we're going to turn our pan on medium. And we're going to let our little guy sit over here. To that, we're going to add 2/3 cup of brown sugar. So I don't have a 2/3 cup measure. Some measuring cup sets will have it, some don't. All right, so if I have a 1/3 plus 1/3 equals 2/3. All right, so we're just going to put that right in the pan. Okay, so we have our water, butter, and brown sugar in our pan. Can you see that? This is actually the same sauce that we use to saute the apples and bananas. Only we melted the butter and then put the fruit in and then the brown sugar on top. Okay, so it's just a brown sugar sauce. I like to, it says cook for 2 minutes, but you want to make sure the brown sugar is dissolved. And you can still hear it's sounding kind of sandy. That means the sugar crystals are still intact. And I want to make it more of a sauce than just a brown sugar sludgy kind of thing. Alright. This is actually, if you cook it long enough, it becomes a caramel mixture. Again, you could put this over ice cream. That would be yummy. Okay, we're going to put some of it into our muffin tin. And it doesn't say how much, so I'm going to divide it by 6, and we're just going to put, actually I have a couple more muffins over here, so I'll leave a little bit. It says to leave a little bit to drizzle over the top. However, I'm going to make an icing to drizzle over the top, so I'm not going to leave any to drizzle over the top. All right. Ooh, it's getting bubbly. So it's getting bubbly and turning a little bit lighter in color, which means it's getting caramely. It's getting a little thicker. All right. You don't want it to get too hot because then it'll be crispy, crunchy when we try to. I got a spoon that's not plastic because this is hot. And I'm going to spoon it into each of the cups. Just one spoon at a time. That one spoon actually looks pretty good, huh? This is really hot. And it's going to be really molten hot. Molten, like a volcano when it comes out of the oven. Right, this one looks like it needs a little more. You don't want your pan, your biscuits to overflow, or your monkey bread. So don't fill them all the way to the top. All right, now we are ready to bake them in the oven. And it says 8 to 10 minutes. I got a little burnt caramel here. It says 8 to 10 minutes. Remember to go with the shortest amount of time first because you can fix not baked yet, but you can't fix burnt. All right, so we don't want to cook them too long. So we're going to go with the 8 minutes, and I will see you back then. All right, here they are. 8 minutes was enough. Okay, so they're all nice and yummy and done. And now we're going to make the icing. Okay, for the icing, I have about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. I'm going to use a fork, just powdered sugar, and I'm going to put in a tablespoon at a time of milk. Actually, I'm going to do 2 tablespoons. You don't want this to be runny, but you also don't want it to be too thick. Oh, that's going to be too much. Okay, and this is the bowl that I did the cinnamon in, so I poured out the cinnamon and sugar, and if you see, it's got a little bit of cinnamon. Yep, this is too watery. All right. Okay, so it's a little bit lumpy. You want to stir it till there's no more lumps. You could put some more cinnamon in it if you wanted to make a cinnamon drizzle. Actually, I think I might do that. All right. Now we're going to stir it all up. Okay. See if we can get them out. All right, there we go. And then you're going to take your drizzle and drizzle it. Oh, I need a spoon. Okay, you can drizzle this over the top. Okay, it's kind of like a cinnamon roll, and there you go. Individual monkey bread. Enjoy.